Well, hello everybody. Welcome to game number 4 in the Demolition League 2015 Strat-O-Matic style Demolition League, Seattle and Houston. Houston leads the series 2-1, so it's all or nothing for the Mariners. They have to win to survive and get back to Seattle. Starting pitchers for each team. For Seattle, they're going with the best they have. King Felix. He was 18-9 with a 3.53 ERA in 2015. And going for the Astros, Mike Fiers. They picked him up from Milwaukee. And in limited duty with the Astros, he was 2-1 with a 3.32 ERA in 9 starts after being acquired from Milwaukee. See the starting lineups, benches, and the bullpens for both teams. We have Houston colored dice, the orange and the blue. So now let me get my score sheet together and see about, got a wide berth here, so let's see if I can lower this camera, or the phone, not the camera. The camera is my phone. Let's see if we can get this a little bit closer to the cards, and that way hopefully the cards will show up a little bit better on the viewing area. Hopefully so. I did bring my dice tray thing up a little closer so it doesn't get out of camera too far. So I've got that all set up. And I think we're just about ready to go here. Game 4, Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. Again, if Houston wins, it's all over. If Seattle wins, then there's a Game 5 in Seattle, and it will be Dallas Keuchel for Houston against Taijuan Walker for Seattle. So, Mike Fiers is on the mound for the Astros. And leading things off for Seattle will be the shortstop, Brad Miller. As we're looking at Miller time, I think I can push this back a little bit further and still have it fit in pretty well. I think, let's try that. Okay, I think that'll fit pretty decently. All right, we are ready to go. Brad Miller against Fiers, and game number 4 is underway. That's a 2-9 for Brad Miller, and he's going to strike out. So right off the bat, Miller goes down swinging from Mike Fiers, 1 away. And that flips it over to Seth Smith. That's a 2-2, and for Seth Smith, that's just a fly to left field. Super advanced, we'd be looking at the home run chances, but this is advanced. Remember, that's the way I started it, and I prefer super advanced, but I started this project in advanced, so I want to finish it the same way I started. So that is just the advanced fly out, not the super advanced home run check. And here's Nelson Cruz. 5-7, and on Fiers' card, that is going to be a strikeout. So Mike Fiers, a very impressive top of the first, including 2 strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Seattle nothing and Houston coming to bat. And on the mound for Seattle to try to extend this series, it is King Felix. King Felix is in charge of trying to get Seattle back to Seattle for Game 5. Jose Altuve and the Astros looking to end it right here. Make sure one other thing real quick. Yep, okay. All right. So it is Altuve. 3-3 for Altuve. It's a ground ball first base C, and when it's a C, then I like to do the first baseman flipping to the pitcher. Not that it matters, just for general purpose. So in this case, first baseman Morrison will flip to King Felix covering, 1 away. And that will bring up, hello, Mr. RJL. How are you doing, sir? I figured with your night off after having your selection show, I was hoping for 71, but, you know, hey, there'll be another vote another time. 2016, nothing wrong with that. So here's George Springer. That's a 5-8. And on King Felix, a 5-8 is a ground ball to short. That's 2 down. 2 up and 2 down. Injury checks for both pitchers are 6-12. So if we roll a 6-12, both pitchers will be given an injury check to see if they get injured. Carlos Correa is the batter. 2 out, space is clear. Hello, John. How are you doing? 3-4 for Correa, and that is a strikeout. So both pitchers dealing here in the first. Nothing doing for either side. At the end of 1, it's no score from Houston, where the Astros lead 2-1 here in Game 4, trying to put it away and end this demolition league once and for all. Seattle trying to extend it to a 5th and final game. Thank you, John. I enjoy that too. I love talking baseball. I don't care who I talk it with. I just love talking baseball. He reached out to me. It was supposed to have been about Strat-O-Matic exclusively, but we kind of got some tangents going there. But Replay Gamer is a good conversationalist, and so I was happy to do it, and I enjoyed it, and maybe we'll get to do it again someday. We'll see. But I do like talking baseball. Doesn't matter with who or about what, but I just enjoy talking the game. All right, so here's Kyle Seager. It's Mike Fiers, 5-8. 5-8 against the lefty is a strikeout again for Mike Fiers. Boy, he just got 3 strikeouts and 4 at bats, so he's just killing it. And he's looking to end this thing right away. Great pickup from Milwaukee for the Astros. It did cost them Josh Hader, but in the short term, it certainly was a good deal. Hello, Thomas. How are you doing, sir? Glad you can make it on a Tuesday evening. Fiers to Franklin Gutierrez. 3-5's another strikeout. Boy, 4 strikeouts and 5 at bats for Mike Fiers. He is, you could say, on fire. And there's 2 down for, speaking of being on fire, here comes Mr. Morrison. Not Jim, but Logan. Logan's trying to light somebody's fire here. Light up Mike Fiers. 4-11 is a single. So there's the first base hit of the game. And, of course, the one thing I forgot to bring was the little markers for the batters. So let me do that real quick. Sometimes you sit down, you think you have everything, and lo and behold, you realize there's at least one thing you forgot. And nothing fancy, just a little marker there, just so you know somebody's on first base with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Sean O'Malley. Again, he is the computerized player because I ran out of players for Seattle due to injury and trades. So we had to go to Sean O'Malley. Hello, Kenyon. How you doing? Hey, Chuck. How you doing? Yep. This is for those who have RJL withdrawals. We're going to have some. I thought about recording this, but then again, I thought, you know, I haven't done a live demolition game in a while, so let's try it. I don't really like to do live on Strat because the cards don't show up as well as the other games do. I can only get 720p with my phone as opposed to 1080p, but hopefully, I mean, I know the computer card you can't see, but hopefully Mike Fiers comes in pretty good. So, all right, here we go. Sean O'Malley is a switch hitter. And let's see, Morrison will have to be held. He's a C stealer. You can't just give him free base, so he will be held. Fiers, 4-4 under Fiers cards. Ground ball, third base, X. Third base is Valbuena. He is a 3, and he's an E10 if it gets to his error check, but he's a 3 for range. 3-11, it will go to his error check. He is an E10. So E10. And a 12. That could be interesting. Third baseman, an E10 and a 12 is a ground ball A, so it will work. Would have been a double play. It was already 3 outs, so we'll just say he throws to second for the force. It's a 5-4 fielder's choice. And the inning is over. Again, nothing for the Mariners. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score. From, I guess in 2015 it was called Minute Maid Park. It probably still is, but they change sponsorships so often you never know how they're going to. I think the Mariners now are T-Mobile Park or something. I don't really know. I can't keep up with everything. Yes, it is, Kenyon. This is 2-1. So if Houston wins, it's all over. And if Seattle wins, we go to a Game 5. Thought about doing a Game 7, but I really want to get this project over so I can concentrate on my Yankee project and my NBC Game of the Week. And I might even have a third one around the corner with something else, so we'll see. All right. RJL, what they're going to do to get them by is they're going to watch ID Jester's rant on Play Golf. That's what they're going to... That'll entertain them for quite a while. Between that and the Appa Football rant, that should be double entertainment right there. All right, here's Valbuena to lead off. Just made that nice defensive play. 4-6, and that's a walk. So how about that? Valbuena will lead off the inning with a walk, and sometimes leadoff walks will come back to bite you. Valbuena is an E-stealer, so he will not be held. And a switch hitting Marwin Gonzalez, the designated hitter, will be up. 3-7, and that's a single 2 stars for Marwin Gonzalez. So here come the Astros putting the pressure on here in the second inning without the benefit of trash cans. They have a runner on the corner situation with nobody out. Gonzalez, the D-stealer, will also not be held. Now the Astros have to decide if they're going to play the infield in or try to turn 2. They really need a strikeout here, and Colby Rasmus is a pretty decent strikeout candidate. They play the infield in. You got this plus right here, and a plus right there. So I think they're going to lay back for the double play. He doesn't have a whole lot of ground ball Bs on his card, so they're going to play back for the double play and try to turn 2. 5-10. Now we're off Felix's card. 5-10 is a ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop is Miller. Not very good. Miller at shortstop. Well, he's a 3. Not horrible. 3 and a 9. So let's see what that does. 3 and a 9 for a shortstop. Does go to his error check. So we go to his error check, and Miller error rating is E27. E27 and an 8 for a shortstop. E27 and an 8 is a ground ball A. So how about that? The run will score, but they will turn the double play 6-4-3 to clear the bases. Equitable trade as far as Seattle is concerned. 6-4-3 double play, no RBI given to Miller. And that clears the bases, but the Astros do take a 1-0 lead. But I think you had to get those outs. I mean, there was nobody out. You had to start recording some outs there. And it's only in the second inning, so Seattle does have time to put some runs on the board. Here's Chris Carter. All he does is hit home runs and strike out. 6-4. Well, this time he didn't do either. Grounds to third. That's Seager. And Kyle Seager is a 2. 2 and a 14 is again going to go to his error check. And that is an error rating of E16. E6. Oh, a 2. How about that? E16 and a 2 for a third baseman. E16 and a 2. That's one of these split chances. You roll the white die. If it's a 1 through 3, it's a 2-base error. If it's a 4 through 6, it's a ground ball A. So that's where the white die comes in. He needs a 4, 5, or 6 to avoid the error. And he didn't get it. It's a 2-base error. It's going to end up being a 2-base error on Kyle Seager, and now it's a good thing they did get that double play, because if they'd played the infield in and gotten the run and left people on base, that would have scored the run. That would have been 2 runs in already. So at least initially it seemed like a good idea to play the infield back. All right, runner Chris Carter, very slow, not going to be held on second base, but shoddy fielding. Here's Jason Castro, 3-6. It's a ground ball to second, and that's going to end the inning. So after all the mess and the smoke is cleared, Houston comes away with exactly 1 run. And they do it on just 1 hit, but a walk and a 2-base error also included. We go to the third, 1-0 Houston. And coming up for Seattle will be Willie Bloomquist. And this is the position where they're really hurting the most, because they don't have Robbie Cano. He is injured for the rest of the playoffs. Of course, in a couple of weeks or however long it's going to be before RJL starts back up again, you will see Robinson Cano in the 2016 inside pitch season. Fires. 211. Bloomquist is hit by the pitch, so he gets plunked. Willie Bloomquist not happy about it, but gets plunked. Takes one for the team. He is a D stealer, so he will not be held. And that'll bring up the catcher, Zanino. He's a B bunter, so they could think about trying to bunt here. And I think they will if it turns to a C bunter, but he's not a very good hitter, so they figured the best chance is to bunt him over. So we go to the advanced sacrifice chart. He is a B bunter, corners in, make him a C bunter. C and a 6, probably okay. C and a 6 is batter thrown up by third baseman, runners advance. So it's going to be a 5-4 sacrifice as Altuve covers first base. Oops. So it is a sacrifice hit, 5-4. And Bloomquist takes second base with 1 out. But it does flip the order over to Brad Miller. Miller. See if it's Miller time. Again, the runner, Bloomquist, not being held on second base. Fires 1-7, and that, look at that, that's going to produce the run. So the small ball pays off. 1-7 means a 1-6 is a double, 7-20 is a single. That's a 16th a single, but it's 2-star single. And so that sacrifice hit paid dividends, and we got a tie ball game. Seattle has tied the game at a run apiece. Brad Miller coming through. He's a B stealer. He will have to be held. And now Seth Smith is your batter. Get a 4-2, and that's a walk. So Fires running into a little bit of an issue here in the third. And runners at first and second with only 1 out for Nelson Cruz. Could be time for Seattle to make some hay with these guys coming up in the lineup. 1-5, and look at that. Talk about making hay in honor of RJL. Kaboom! 1-5. Home run, straight up shot, 3-run bomb. Seattle takes a 4-1 lead. Nelly Cruz getting it done. 3-run shot. Trash can or no trash can, they didn't care. That was a 3-run bomb by Nelson Cruz. And Seattle now 4-1. They're feeling good about themselves, as King Felix is definitely enjoying this run support. Here's Kyle Seager. Now the Houston bullpen might be warming up here very soon. 110's a pop out to second. Altuve will grab it for out number 2. And that brings up Franklin Gutierrez. If they do have to go back to Seattle, it's theoretically a travel day, so they will get a day off. So all bullpen guys are eligible and don't have to worry about rest because they'll get the day off tomorrow for travel, if it gets to that. Fires 6-3, fly ball right field. Right fielder is Springer, and George Springer in right field is a 2. 2-10, probably an error check once again. 2-10 is an error check. So if we look at Springer's error, he's an E5. That's an 8. E5 and an 8 is a fly ball B, so that's good enough. That's going to end the inning. But damage done. Seattle, a 4 spot here in the third, capped off by a 3-run home run from Nelson Cruz. And we go to the bottom of the third. 4-1, favor of Seattle. And that'll send up Jake Marisnick, Jake the Snake. He will lead off for Houston, number 9 hitter. 1-3, and that's a ground ball right back to King Felix. Easy play. 1 down. The order will flip over to Mr. Altuve. .210, and that's a foul out to Seager at third. So it's quickly 2 away, and that brings up George Springer. .48, and that's a 6, so that means it's a base hit. Could have been a double on a 1-3, but on a, I'm sorry, on a 1-2 it would have been a single, but on a 3-20 it would have 1-2 would have been a double. 3 of 20 is a single. Springer is an A stealer. Zunino, his arm is a -1. So A stealer. You start out as a 15. You lose 2 for being held, makes him a 13. -1 arm is a 12. It'd be a 1 to 12 to try to get in scoring position with 2 outs, although you are down 4 to 1. And Correa is coming up. Do you send the runner? That's the question. Do we send the runner, or do we rely on Correa? I think down 4 to 1, you don't send the runner, so they'll let Correa swing away. 1-7, and it's a good thing because the runner was being held, so that plus sign there is not a ground ball to shortstop. It's a base hit, 2 stars because of the plus sign. He was being held, so runners are at the corners with 2 outs. And good speed on the bases. Correa will also have to be held. But the tying run's coming to the plate, and Luis Valbuena, and he's got some pop in that column too. But he found Felix Hernandez's card, 4-11. But look what he found. He found a home run check, 1 to 13. That's a 12. And here we go again for RJL. Kaboom! A 3-run shot for Luis Valbuena. And just like that, we are tied. Actually, the Astros, have tied the game 4-4. All this with 2 outs and the bases empty. 2 innocent singles. And then the 3-run homer. So now it's a good thing he didn't send Springer, because if he's caught stealing, none of this would have happened. But as it is, we are tied at 4. Astros still batting with 2 outs. And here's Gonzalez. He singled his first time. 6-7, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. But the 3-run bomb, courtesy of Luis Valbuena, has tied the score at 4 after 3 innings of play, and neither starter looks like they want to be around very long because they are just getting pummeled here early on. Seattle has no wiggle room to work with. Houston, I guess they could give extended leash to Mike Fiers, but because they can come back the next day. But Seattle, it's losing, you're out. All right, here is Logan Morrison to lead it off against Fiers. 6-9, and boy, Fiers in trouble again. 1-6 is a triple, but that's an 11, so it's just going to be a single for Logan Morrison. The hit parade continues. He's 2 for 2. And the Astro bullpen now is loosening. Chad Qualls, right-hander, is loosening in the pen. Here's Sean O'Malley, the switch hitter. And Morrison, again, C stealer, will have to be held. Hello, Butch. How are you doing? Will have to be held. Let's see, 5-6, switch hitter 5-6. That's a fly ball to left field for 1 away. So finally an out is recorded here in the 4th inning. And that brings us to Willie Bloomquist, second baseman. 5-3, and that's a fly ball left field X. Left fielder in this case is Colby Rasmus. He's a 3. 3-15 should be a good play in the advanced line. 3-15 is a fly ball C. That's good enough. 2 down. So after the leadoff single, we've got 2 outs in a row, and here's Mike Zunino, the catcher, number 9 hitter, coming up. 3-11, and that's a ground ball to short to end the inning. It's a ground ball A, so we'll say it's a 6-4 fielder's choice that ends the inning. Not that it matters. Nothing doing for Seattle. We go to the bottom of the 4th, tied at 4. As Seattle is looking to extend the series, and Houston wants to put it away. And due up for the Astros, it'll be Colby Rasmus. Colby Rasmus. Next video on the channel will be the first game of the New York Yankees Cleveland Guardians series and payoff pitch 2022. That'll be sometime later in the week. Then on Saturday, it is the NBC game of the week, and it will be the Houston Astros going north of the border to Stade-Olympique, or whatever it's called, to play the Expos. J.R. Richard will be on the mound for Houston in that one. All right. Colby Rasmus steps to the plate. Get into a double play his first time. 5-4 off King Felix. That's a catcher X, Zanino. Catcher X and Zanino is a 2. 2 and a 3 for catcher X. 2 and a 3 is a straight old foul out right there. 2 and a 3 is a straight old foul out. So he fouls out to Zanino, does Rasmus, and there's one away for Chris Carter. Chris Carter. 5-10, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. That's Mr. Miller. He's a 3. 3-20. That's good all day long. 2 down. And ironically, Carter hit one to third at Seeger and got on board on 2-base error, but this time on the X check, it does not work out that well for him. Here's Jason Castro. 1-2 for Castro, and let's hear it again. Kaboom! Solo shot for Jason Castro on the 1-2. And that's like a 1-2 punch right there. And the Astros have reclaimed the lead 5-4. And now the Seattle bullpen up and throwing as they have Danny Farquhar loosing in the pen. Here's Marisnik. 2-9 for Marisnik. And that's going to be a strikeout to end the inning. But the damage done on the home run from Jason Castro. And at the end of 4, it's Houston 5 and Seattle 4. All right, we go to the top of the 5th. Fires can go through 6 innings for fatigue. Felix is 7, but if Felix gives another run, he's going to have to come out for fatigue anyway, because if you give up 6 runs, you got to come out. So got to be aware of that. And the bullpens, they're the elimination game, so they can't afford to let anything else happen. All right, here is Brad Miller. Singleton scored his last time up. 1-8, and all these hits in column 1, he found a pop out to third. Easy play there for Valbuena. 1 away for Seth Smith. Of course, Seattle coming in with, wounded action, losing some players, losing Cano to injury and losing Ketel Marte to injury is really hurting their lineup. 2-7 for Smith, and that's trouble. 1-16 is a double, but that's a 17. Kind of a bad break there. You thought it would have been a double, but D20 says otherwise. It's just going to be a single, and he's an E-stealer. He will not be held. But here comes Nelson Cruz. He had the big 3-run homer his last time up. He finds that column 1 again. It could be trouble. Found column 2, 2-7, and he strikes out. So no trouble there on the strikeout for Mr. Fires. 2 down. And that will send up Kyle Seager. 4-2, and that's a walk. So that's going to keep the inning going for Franklin Gutierrez. Nobody being held on base, so don't have to worry about the pluses on the batter cards. It's a 3-7. That's a strikeout to end the inning. So Mike Fiers gets the K, and I think they're going to cap Mike Fiers at 5 innings. That's gonna be it for Mike Fiers. They will go to the bullpen for the rest of the game. Fiers went 5 innings, allowed 4 runs, but he is in line to get the victory. And looks like Chad Qualls will be the new pitcher in the top of the 6th for Houston. For Seattle, they're going to stick with their ace, King Felix, as long as they can, hoping he can get it done. And leading things off will be Mr. Altuve. 4-9, and look at that, a 1-8 home run chance. That's a 9. Do you believe that? That is a 9. That is a 9. So I believe if that was super advanced, we'd be checking for robbing the home run, but it's just advanced. So therefore, it's just a fly to the left. So boy, awfully close. Of course, I don't know in Houston. I don't think in Minute Maid Park, I don't think left field. I think that wall is too high. I don't think you can rob a home run there anyway, but interesting he came that close. Warning track power. Here's George Springer. 3-8, and that's a strikeout. So King Felix trying to do as best he can to keep his team in the game. He's been bit by the gopher ball twice. Once by Valbuena, once by Castro. Here's Correa. 5-9, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. That's going to be Mr. Miller. He's a 3. 20, it's a good play all day. It's going to end the inning. So King Felix threw 5 innings, just giving up 5 runs. We go to the 6th inning. Score still 5-4 Houston. Hello, Doug. How are you doing? And now Houston will be going to the bullpen for Chad Qualls. So Chad Qualls will be the new pitcher to start the top of the 6th. King Felix may or may not come back in the bottom of the 6th. We shall see. Mike Fiers is in line for the victory. He can win it, cannot lose it, as he went to the required 5 innings. And Chad Qualls is on. He was 3-5 with a 4.38 ERA and 4 saves in 2015. So Chad Qualls will be the man facing Morrison, O'Malley, and Bloomquist, lefty, switch, and a righty. 2-7, and that's a strikeout. So he gets Logan Morrison on strikes for out number 1. It's going to bring up O'Malley. O'Malley has grounded to a fielder's choice and fly to left. 5-7, he's a switch hitter. He's going to strike out. So back-to-back strikeouts for Qualls. 2 down, and here's Willie Bloomquist. 4-10, and that's going to be a fly to left. That's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Chad Qualls. He did his job. He's a 1-inning guy, so they will go to the bullpen again, but he certainly did what he was supposed to do. 1 shutout inning. Keeps his team in the lead 5-4. And King Felix will come back out, but the bullpen is just about ready. They do have left-hander Joe Beimel in the pen along with Farquhar. So they got righty and lefty action going. Here's Valbuena. Valbuena, of course, hit that big 3-run homer his last time up. 3-10, he's going to do... Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking at 2-10. 3-10, he's going to ground to short. Got too excited there. Grounded to short. 1 away. Came oh so close, getting another dinger, so King Felix kind of had to hold his breath. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. 4-11, and that, well, as soon as we were holding our breath on home runs. And home run chance 1-13, but that's a 19. Again, King Felix survives. Fly ball to right field deep, but Cruz puts it away, 2 down. So, boy, talk about dodging the bad places. King Felix is doing just that. Here's Rasmus. 5-6, and that's a fly to center to end the inning. So King Felix does make it through 6 innings without giving up any more runs than what he already has. And we go to the 7th. Score still 5-4 Houston. That's probably going to be all for King Felix. I'm thinking that's going to be it for him. Seattle will go to the bullpen going forward. And speaking of the bullpen, Houston is going to their bullpen. Seattle will have Zunino, Miller, and Smith. So a couple of lefties after the right-hander. So they will go to Tony Sipp. Tony Sipp is coming on for Houston. Left-handed reliever was 3-4 with a 1.99 ERA in 2015. So Tony Sipp will be on. Still leaves him Oliver Perez as the other lefty in the bullpen. Sipp is on to face Zunino, Miller, and Smith. Now, do we pinch hit for Zunino is the question. But if you pinch hit for him now and it comes up to his spot again in the 9th, you can't pinch hit for Sucre. So I think they're going to let Zunino swing away. Because if he rolls back in the 9th and we get to the catcher spot, you're going to want to pinch hit for him. So against the lefty, he does a little bit better. So they're going to let Zunino swing against the lefty. 2-6, and he strikes out. So much for that thought. It was a good thought, but it just didn't work out. That is a strikeout. Back to the top of the order for Brad Miller. Hello, Larry Harris. How you doing, sir? Miller 2-8 against the lefties. A ground ball to second. That's 2 quick outs here in the top of the 7th. 5-4 Astros looking to put the series away and not have to go back to Seattle. Here's Seth Smith. 6-7, and that is a 1-2 single, but that's a 20, so ends up being a line out to Chris Carter at first base, and that's going to end the inning. And Tony Sipp does his job, goes his 1 inning, and he will come out, and they'll probably go to Will Harris in the 8th, and then try to set it up for Gregerson in the 9th. So nothing doing for Seattle here in the top of the 7th. 7th inning stretch time here from Minute Maid Park. And I'm going to take a quick stretch break. Oh, he's actually at the Cleveland game. That's interesting. I haven't been to a Major League game in a long time. I can't remember the last game I went to, actually, in a Major League game. You know, the last Major League game I think I went to was the Washington Nationals game when they were still playing at RFK Stadium. I think it's the last Major League game I've gone to. That's how long it's been. So, anyway, I don't live close to one of their, Major League city. Washington and Baltimore are the 2 closest, and they're long drives. So, Baltimore's like 3.5 hours, and DC, you got all that traffic to deal with. So, all right, coming up, enough of that. Coming up for Houston, it will be Carter, Castro, and Marisnick. So, mix of righties and lefties. So they're going to go to, do they go with Farquhar? I guess they're going to go with Farquhar, because he was the one warming up. Not an impressive record, 1-8 and a 5.12 ERA with 1 save in 2015. But Danny Farquhar is in there, and Joe Beimel still loosening in the pen as well. King Felix goes 6 innings, gives up 5 runs, and is on the hook for the loss. So Farquhar will be facing Chris Carter. Reached on a 2-base error, and he grounded to short. 4-9, and that is a ground ball to short. There's a triangle there for super advanced that would split it down to here, but we're just doing advanced, so it's a ground ball to short. And there's 1 away. So Chris Carter is retired. Here comes Castro. He homered his last time up to put the Astros in the lead. 4-9. He's going to strike out. So Farquhar doing the job. 2 quick outs. Marisnick, number 9 hitter. He's 0 for 2. 3-6. But look at this. 1-8 is a home. 1-8 is a home run. 9-20 is a double, but that is a 9. Little dots underneath to the right. So it is a crashing double for Jake Marisnick. So a 2-out double for Marisnick brings up Jose Altuve. And now, boy, do you pitch to Altuve? They're going to walk Altuve intentionally. They don't want Altuve to. Well, Altuve is 0 for 3. That means he's due. So they're going to intentionally walk Altuve and take their chances with George Springer. Springer is 1 for 3 with a single. Let's see. Marisnick will have to be held on second base because he is an A stealer, and he's a 16 runner, so they're going to hold him on. So that ground ball at 2-7 looms large with that plus sign. 4-5, though, is a strikeout, so Springer is out of there. So intentional walking Altuve, at least initially, looks like it paid off. And that's going to do it for Farquhar. He won his 1 inning. That's going to be it for him. We go to the 8th inning. Score still 5-4. It's been a long while since we've had some runs. It started out hot and heavy. 7 of the 9 runs scored in this game were in the 3rd inning. So it's coming in bunches, and now they're not coming at all. So bullpen time for the Astros. Cruz, Seager, and Gutierrez due up for Seattle, and it will be Will Harris, the setup man, for the Astros. He was 5-5 with a 1.90 ERA and 2 saves in the 15 season. So Will Harris coming on and try to keep the score where it is and set it up in the 9th inning for Luke Gregerson. Leading off for Seattle is Mr. Nelson Cruz. Can tie it up with one swing of the bat. Already has a 3-run homer back in the 3rd inning. Harris, 6'4". Fly ball center field X. That's Marisnick. He's a 1. 1/10, though. Going to go to his error rating. So, not automatic now with an error check. So, Marisnick is an E5. E5 and a 7 for center fielder. E5 and a 7 is a fly ball B. Good enough. So, tough chance for Marisnick, but he was able to stay with it. 1 down for Kyle Seager. Two 4, and that is a fly to left field. 2 down. 2 up and 2 down. That brings up Gutierrez. Franklin Gutierrez, the batter. Still has some pop. Could tie the game with one swing of the bat if he hits that column 2. And he did. 2-9, but he hit the wrong one. 2-9 is a strikeout. 2-10 would have been a home run, but a 2-9 is a strikeout. Oh, so close for Seattle. But Gutierrez comes up with nothing but air. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Will Harris. He did his job. And we go down to the bottom of the 8th. Score still 5-4 Houston. And now Seattle will go to their pen. Houston will be sending Correa, Valbuena, and Gonzalez, righty-lefty switch, but then another lefty behind them. So they may go to Joe Beimel. They might go to Carson Smith, their closer, because they really just can't afford any more runs to come across. So I think they're just going to go ahead and go to Carson Smith, their closer. 2-5 with a 2.31 ERA and 13 saves. He took over as a closer when they traded away Fernando Rodney. But you're in the potentially last inning you're ever going to pitch. Oh, I hit Will Humson by mistake. My bad. But Smith will be in. And he'll be facing, to start things off, Carlos Correa. Trying to keep the score 5-4. They just, no way they can afford to allow another run. That's all there is to it. That's a 4-8, and Carson Smith will get the strikeout. Strikes out Correa, 1 down. Brings up Valbuena. You have to be careful with Valbuena. He's got some pop in that column 2. Probably best to try to go off the pitcher card if you can. And he did. 4-8. It's a strikeout, so took care of that. 2 up and 2 down. And that brings up Marwin Gonzalez, the designated hitter. 6-10, and that's a fly ball center field X. Center fielder for Seattle is O'Malley. He's a 3. 3-20. He'll make the play, and the inning is over. So Carson Smith did his job. He could always he could still pitch the bottom of the 9th if they get to that. So he's not completely done just yet. At least he's hoping that. We go to the 9th. Last chance for Seattle. And they'll have to do it against Luke Gregerson, the closer for Houston. Gregerson, 7-3, 3.10 ERA, and 31 saves in 2015. So Gregerson is on, and he'll be facing Morrison, O'Malley, and Bloomquist. But this is where you can start using your bench because we're in the 9th, so you got to go for all the offense you can get. So there will be some pinch hitting going on. But not for Logan Morrison. He's going to lead things off on his own. So Logan Morrison will be the first one up. Not going to pinch hit for him. He's 2 for 3 on the day. And he's a good hitter. So, Gregerson to Morrison. 4-12, but he's going to strike out. So Logan Morrison out on strikes. One down. Takes us to O'Malley. Now, do we stay with O'Malley or not? That's the question. They got some guys with pop on the bench. You got Mark Trumbo on the bench. You got Jesus Montero on the bench. Both have home run pop. Although the averages are not, well, for Montero, the averages are not very good. So let's see how they want to play this. Then you would have, well, you're going to pinch it for Bloomquist for sure. So I think they're going to let O'Malley swing away. And Mark Trumbo will pinch hit for Bloomquist. And Trumbo is on deck to pinch hit for Bloomquist. But first things first, it is O'Malley. He is a switch hitter. So let him swing away. O'Malley is 0 for 3, but he was a 262 hitter in limited duty. 1-7, and he singles to left field. So a one-out single for O'Malley. He's aboard. He is a B stealer, so he will have to be held. He won't go anywhere, but he will be held. And now Mark Trumbo is on. He will pinch hit. Trumbo will be the pinch hitter for Bloomquist. And if it goes to the bottom of the ninth, Chris Taylor would play second base. But right now they're going for offense, all the offense they can get. And Trumbo is the man to try to provide it. O'Malley is being held. Gregerson the pitch. 2-6 struck him out. Trumbo out on strikes for out number 2. So Trumbo fails. That's the price you pay. It's that all or nothing kind of player. And in that case, it came away with nothing. Zanino is the scheduled batter, but he will be called back for Jesus Montero. Montero hit 223, but he did hit 5 home runs and just 112 at bats. So he is on to pinch hit, and if it goes to the bottom of the ninth, Jesus Sucre would take over it behind the plate. But Montero, Seattle trying to do everything they can to extend this game. Montero, last chance for Seattle. If you find column 1, he's got a good chance. Or Gregerson's column 4. It's a 2, though. 2-4 is a ground ball back to the pitcher, Gregerson. He pumps and throws to Chris Carter, and that's your ball game, folks. It is all over. The Astros are mobbing the field. They win the Demolition League. They defeat Seattle 3-1 and win this one by the final score of 5-4. And the Demolition League is now in the books. Winning pitcher, Mike Fiers. Loser, Felix Hernandez, and Luke Gregerson with the save. So I had a lot of fun with the Demolition League. Got the idea, of course, from Tenacious Earl. And I talked to him about it before I started this, got his blessing. That's why when I did 2015, same as him, I made sure that all 10 teams were not in his league that he used. I wanted to use 10 different teams, and that was the reason why that I picked these teams, because I made sure they did not intersect with his teams that he did. So anyway, that's I'm stratted out for a while because I obviously took a long time to get through all this project. That's my problem. I seem to take on projects that take a long time, not the quick projects. Like case in point is the New York Yankees replay. But I'm having fun with that so far in payoff pitch. I'm really enjoying that. So I may set Strat-O-Matic aside for a little while and just take a little respite from that. I'll have my inside pitch with the game of the week on Saturday, and then payoff pitch with the Yankees. I'd like to, now that this Demolition League is over with, starting next week, I'd like to get to 2 videos a week on the Yankees to catch up in their, so I can try to get their season caught up to what the calendar is right now. And I think I can do that. Since I don't have this one going on, and the Saturday one is just a Saturday one, so I can pretty much focus in total on the Yankees payoff pitch. Once I get that going and the rhythm going on that, I may do some little one-offs here and there. I don't know. MVP, I have no idea who the MVP should be on this. You can make a case in this game for Luis Valbuena. His 3-run homer tied the game when they were down 4-1. I don't have the score sheets in front of me for the other games to know who the MVP was, but it's called a team effort. Seattle won the first game, and Houston came back and won 3 in a row after that. So tonight's Tuesday, so hopefully on Thursday is when I plan on doing the Yankees and the Cleveland Guardians. Will probably be, well, I don't know. I really do prefer recorded videos because I can take my time and I can, if I mess something up, I can pause it and the video quality turns out to be better because it's 1080p versus 720p. And I do the live one already with the game of the week, so I probably will do just an upload of that Cleveland and Yankee game. Jameson Taillon for the Yankees, and I forget who it is for the Indians. Some guy I never heard of. I call them the Indians. I don't want to keep calling the Indians. I will do my best to call them the Guardians and not call them the Indians, but slip of the tongue, Freudian slip's going to happen after all these years. It's kind of hard not to, but I'm trying to get better at it, and I've kind of, I'm kind of, the Guardian thing is finally starting to click with me now. So hopefully, going forward, that will be the case. And again, I want to thank the Replay Gamer for having me on his channel. I really enjoyed that chat. I enjoy chatting baseball. I don't care who it's with or what game it is or what season it is or whatever. I just enjoy chatting about the game itself. So I really do, and I do appreciate him reaching out to me and asking me to do that. Had a lot of fun. Hopefully he did as well. And we, after the video was over, we chatted a little bit further. Some things I forgot to say on video that I was talking to him about later on after that, but it was a good time. I mean, like he said, sometimes some of the better videos to watch are not game videos, but chatting videos. Like Dave Gardner has his digital to dice podcast and things like that, or Al has his chats. So sometimes the chat things are pretty good. And in fact, Beatles Eternally, he plays a game, but I think it's just a background for chatting. So, because he focuses a lot more on just having casual conversation, and the game just kind of in the background. So anyway, Houston Astros do it. Didn't think they would. They came in as the number 3 seed, and somehow was able to get it done. Actually, take that back. They came as number 4 seed. Seattle was number 3 seed, and they knocked off the top 2. Seattle, the 3 seed, knocked off Cleveland. I'm sorry, Seattle, the number 4 seed, knocked off Cleveland. Or am I getting it backward? No, I'm sorry. Seattle, number 3 seed, knocked off the number 2 Mets. Houston, number 4 seed, knocked off the number 1 seed Indians. And that's how we got to this point. So, 4-seeded team did it. And they were almost, record-wise, they were all very, very close. So, I think Seattle they had Robinson Cano and Ketel Marte. Might have been a different series, but what to say about ifs and buts and candy and nuts. So I'm sure I'll do some more stuff with Strat-O-Matic, maybe little one-offs here and there. I haven't really decided. My focus right now is on the Yankees 2022 payoff pitch. I've never done a full season payoff pitch replay to test the game engine, and that's where I'm kind of leaning right now to get that done and see how it turns out. And of course, the game of the week on Saturday will be the Astros and the Expos from Montreal. If anybody has any other comments or questions they'd like to ask me while I'm here, I'll be happy to chat for a second. If not, you might want to enjoy the rest of your evening. I don't know, it's 9 o'clock on the East Coast. I'm not sure what time it is where you are or what's going on, but I might after the video's over, I might set up for the Yankees so I can have everything all set to go and I'm ready to record the game probably tomorrow. So Yankees and Guardians, payoff pitch. And I'm scoring the games or inputting the games into Digital Diamond Baseball, which is kind of nice. So that's keeping my stats for me. And then using Fast Score to sim the other games. And I've got that on a spreadsheet, the wins and losses. Once we get further into the season, then I'll start bringing that out on paper so you can see what the pennant race is looking like. But right now, too early for that to worry about. So just kind of, keeping the records, but just doing the fast score for the one day and not really worried about showing standings because it is kind of early for that. So oh, interesting, Larry. I have a hard time playing a tabletop game with something in the background. So how do you play a one-team season? Well, I'm playing the Yankees season all the way through on payoff pitch, and then I'm using fast score to simulate the other games. If you haven't seen fast score, you can check out one of mine, or check out RJL's videos. He uses fast score all the time. Or you can check out one of the Yankee videos I've already done, and it's a fast score system that they use from Replay Baseball, that they give each team a score, and you roll 2 dice, and you get a composite score after that. So that's where we're standing from here. I do enjoy all the other content creators. I listen to them all the time when I'm at work. I'm always having some video on YouTube. I'm listening to that more than I do the radio. I usually have, whether it's RJL or Replay Gamer or Dave Gardner or Tribe Fan or Al Red Sox Fan or ID Jester or whoever it happens to be that has a game out there, whether it could be Anthony, could be Kurt Bergen, could be anybody. If they're out there, I generally will have them on, just to have something to listen to and stay connected to the hobby as best I can. So I think it's, 9? Well, after 9 here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, and appreciate all you guys for tuning in, and kind of a semi-sweet on this Demolition League. In one fashion, I'm glad it's over because I'm ready to move on to other things. But another thing, I'm kind of sad it's over because I really enjoyed playing that, and I have to go back and look at the first video and see how long this thing took. But I wasn't in any rush or anything. But I remember the very first video I played. It was a while back, obviously, but had a lot of fun with it. I believe it was Cincinnati because the traditionalist in me has Cincinnati opening game. I think it might have been Boston and Cincinnati or something like that. I'm not sure. It was a while back. So, but if I do any more Strat projects of any kind, it's going to most likely be super advanced because I'm a super advanced Strat player almost exclusively. This was a rare occasion where I divvied, kind of diverted from that and did just the plain advanced. I think because that's the way Earl did his, I was trying to figure out it takes longer to play super advanced. So I figured with all these games I had to play, try to make it as short as possible. Didn't want to do basic. I wanted to at least have the left-right splits and some other things in there. So I figured advanced was a happy medium. So, question on super advanced, I'll try to answer. I'm not an expert, but I'll try to. What you got? Got the rule book right here in front of me, so if I don't know it, I can look it up. Ground ball to first, okay. I'm not sure what you're asking. Are you talking about, I don't have the super advanced charts in front of me. I think you might be talking about, let me pull, do I have, no, I've got them downstairs. I don't have them with me. I think, without looking at the thing, I believe it's talking about holding the runners on the advance. If it's a plus, then every plus turns into a hit when you hold the runners. In super advanced, if a lefty is up at the plate and the shortstop is responsible for covering second base, then a ground ball to short would be going through for a hit, but the second baseman is not responsible for covering that, so it would go through all the way. I think that, and one of these, I believe, might have to do with, I think it has to do all with whether you're holding the runner or not. I think. Like I said, I don't have the super advanced charts in front of me to be able to look at it, so I guess I won't be able to answer that because I don't have super advanced charts with me because this has all been advanced. So I don't have it in front of me, but I think there's several tutorial videos out there on super advanced that might go over that. I'd have to go check them out, or you could check them out on YouTube. but I think it has to do with holding the runners or whether they're held or not. But yeah, I haven't played Super. I'm going to have to relearn Super Advanced, some things about Super Advanced because I haven't played in a while. So there'll be a slight learning curve there. I probably need to play a couple games offline Super Advanced just to get back in the swing of things. But anyway, that's going to do it from here. I hope everybody enjoyed the Demolition League and enjoys playing Strat-O-Matic or whatever game you prefer, whether it's Apper or Payoff Pitch or Replay or Inside Pitch or some other game. Status Pro, there's a plethora of games out there to choose from to suit any palette. So that's going to do it from here. For the final bow on the Demolition League, 2015 Strat-O-Matic Demolition League, the Houston Astros defeat the Seattle Mariners 5-4, take the series and the championship 3-1. And so all hail the Houston Astros as they have survived the Demolition League to take the championship. So until next time, which would be probably Thursday, and like I said, probably be recorded that I'll upload on Thursday. It's going to be the Yankees against the Guardians, Payoff Pitch 2022. That'll be the next video. Saturday, I'm not sure. I've got some commitments on Saturday, so I may have to record that game and do it as a premiere, or I might have to stream it later than usual or earlier than usual. I don't know what my exact schedule is going to be on Saturday. I've got to find that out. Somebody in the family needs me to do something, so I don't know if it's in the morning or the afternoon. So I'll see about that, but once I get clarity, I will know for sure. So again, thanks to everybody for tuning in and being part of the channel, and I enjoy all you guys' comments and recorded videos. I enjoy your comments as well. I'm terrible about getting back on a lot of comments, but I do read them all, and I do appreciate you following along and enjoying the content because I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I don't have the best equipment in the world like some of these guys do, but I do the best of what I can, and the important thing is to have fun, and hopefully all the other guys are having fun when they're doing it as well. Why else would you do it? All right, so let's go from here. Again, Houston Astros are your champions. So until next time, enjoy playing every game you choose to play, how you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.